are going to stay there. And everyone who's a taker from around, from New Jersey, from Pennsylvania, I'm going to New York. Free stuff everywhere. There'll be enough people. There won't be enough tax base to cover it. That's what's happening.
Yeah, escape from New York. So it is. Close the gate in Florida, Bolling. Just close the gate.
We need the Trump tariff. Trump tariff for Florida. Gruber, see you tomorrow, brother. All right, folks, 4 o'clock Wednesday, markets just closed. Better day today, a little bit of bounce. Starting with the New York Stock Exchange, Dow was up 224. Over in Midtown Manhattan, the Nasdaq, 150 higher. That was 300 plus higher earlier in the day, kind of coming off its highs a little bit. S&P had a strong showing. Gold up $30. Right at that $4,000 number again, very, very strong. Good news, though. The one piece of good news, oil was down under $60, almost $1 a barrel lower, and crypto decided it wasn't going to go down today for first time in many, many days. It actually hit 99,000 yesterday, and the Bitcoin now up to 103.9, 104, let's call it. Some of the other cryptos had a nice rebound today after a massive, massive liquidation of assets in crypto. All right, let's bring our first guest in, who says a secure border exists when the U.S. Border Patrol can do their job: detect, identify, and mitigate all attempts to cross the border illegally with 100% certainty. He says his message is simple. If you cross the border illegally, you're going to be arrested, prosecuted, and deported. Happy to have U.S. Border Patrol Chief Michael Banks with us. Chief, he said, thanks to the increase in funding, resources, and the manpower, the U.S. Border Patrol can finally do the job that you were hired to do. Tell us about it.
Well, it's amazing what a difference an election makes, right? We were just talking about elections, but, there was no new law passed, and we haven't received a dime yet of the OB3 money. It's on the way. And we've been able to reduce our illegal border crossings to 50-plus year lows. We have not seen these level of lows since the 1970s. You're looking at 131 people that crossed the border and entered this country, and were apprehended just yesterday alone. So we're down in every category.
If I may, Chief, may I just throw this number out, only because I remember this. Trump 1.0, one of his latest months in office, certainly summer months, is April of 2019, was late months in his 4-year term. I'm sorry, April of 2020. Here, the border crossings were in the single digits, like 17,000 or so. During Biden, 200, 250, 300,000. And now it's back down to the numbers that you're speaking. There's no question. This isn't one-offs. This is Trump's border policy definitely keeps people out of our southern border into our country. Sorry, I'll let you continue.
And all he had to do was let us do our job, right? Again, no new law was changed. We were just allowed to let Border Patrol agents do what Border Patrol agents know how to do, and that is go out and secure the border. And if you look at the numbers, we're just getting started. It's all gas, no brakes downhill. We will not be satisfied until we get complete operational control of the border. And what that means to us is that we identify, detect, and apprehend every person that attempts to come in this country illegally, and then we prosecute them before getting them returned to their country. Our prosecution rates are up over 90%, and the numbers tell the story. And so, and imagine this, agents were retiring at record numbers under the Biden administration. And now not only have many of those agents pulled their retirement paperwork, but they're asking for waivers to extend beyond the mandatory retirement age of 57, which I think is huge. Our recruiting numbers through the roof. We keep breaking recruiting numbers month after month. So imagine that the government lets Border Patrol agents go out and do their job and enforce the law, and more people want to be a part of that organization.
Chief, I don't know the answer to this, and I should. With the shutdown, what happens to your funding?
And so we're not funded, just like the rest of the federal government. We're continuing to work. There has been some concessions that have been made in order to continue funding us as far as the law enforcement aspect of it, but it does have a severe impact on our civilian workforce. And I think what people need to understand is that when the civilian workforce isn't at work and they're not being paid, we're having to pull law enforcement officers off the streets in order to do that work. And so it is significantly important to the security of this nation that we get this government open back.
This is what really, really aggravates me about politicians. This really pisses me off. Sorry to use that word. You guys are working. You're not fully funded. You're working, not getting the checks, but you're still securing our border because that's what your mission is. It's what you do. It's the right thing to do. These swamp rats, these swamp dwellers, disgusting Congress and Senate, they're not working. They're not working. Government shut down. We're going to go, I don't know, go on TV, or we're going to go vacation, go back to our district, which is code for I'm going home and not working for a while. And yet you guys are continuing to secure our border. This is what drives me absolutely crazy. Thank you for doing that. Where do we stand? I mean, I remember Joe, we were using barbed wire for a while. Trump wasn't. All of a sudden, Joe said, no, that's inhumane. We pulled it. Are you able to use the tactics that worked so well in Trump 1.0? Are you able to bring those back?
Absolutely. So with our DOD partners, our DOW partners, Texas National Guard is still at it heavy helping us. We are laying down miles and miles of concertina wire and temporary barriers every day. But understand this, we are resuming building the wall. We actually were able to find money that was appropriated specifically for building wall in the first Trump administration that the Biden administration wasn't able to steal away and use for funding illegal immigrants. And we've been able to get that money back into wall building. So we are actively building wall in numerous locations. As the OB3 money started coming in, the big, beautiful bill, we've been able to start contracting more. We're going to continue to build wall works. In addition to that, I'm sure you're familiar with the border buoy project that Texas was putting into place. We'll be stranding over 500 miles of our buoy border barriers in the river, in the Rio Grande River in Texas. And so we know it's been proven time and time again throughout every city in this country where Border Patrol has put in wall. And I want to be very clear on the wall. It is not just putting up a wall and walking away from it. This is a smart wall. What a lot of Americans don't understand, and I think it's very important that they do understand, is that there are places along the U.S.-Mexican border where you can literally see 200 yards down the river, but you can't actually get to it. So when the wall comes in, it comes with lighting, it comes with linear ground detection systems, it comes with sensor technology, camera technology, and most importantly, it comes with border roads, which allows Border Patrol agents to laterally patrol east and west along that border, which allows us to be a huge force multiplier and rapidly respond to what we're detecting before it even gets to make an entry.
Yeah, that's just part of the story, part of what you do. Portland, Oregon continues to be a mess. The U.S. Border Patrol Special Operations Group executed a warrant to arrest a Venezuelan national involved in drugs and weapons trafficking with ties to Tren de Aragua. But he wasn't alone. More arrests were made. I mean, the criminal illegal Mexican nationals. You guys are on all our borders, but also in our major cities finding these folks. Tell us about it.
No, I think it's very important to understand we're the United States Border Patrol, and we will enforce immigration law anywhere in the United States and its territories. And so we have got several thousand Border Patrol agents working in the interior along with ICE on numerous operations. We're going to continue to, because the message we want to send is you don't just have to cross the border and get past Border Patrol at the line. We're still going to find you. We're going to apprehend you. We're going to prosecute you and return you to your country. And it does create a greater level of deterrent so that those individuals that are making the decision to cross and enter our country illegally, that there's no longer you get past the Border Patrol and you're home free. We're going to come find you wherever you're at. We're going to arrest you. And we're going to get you deported.
All right, Chief Michael Banks, U.S. Border Patrol Chief. When these lunatics, these progressive liberal lunatics, are out there spitting at you guys, cursing you guys out, yelling at you guys, how is the morale within the group? Because you got the support of the president and at least half of the country. So is that enough?
It is. And I believe that we look, U.S. Border Patrol is going to be unapologetic in enforcing the law. That is our job. That's what we swore an oath to do. And that's what we're going to do. We understand that there are people that disagree with us. They can disagree with us all they want. Just don't impede us. Don't interfere with us, or we will arrest you for that as well. What I would really like to see is the same individuals that refuse to get together and work with the right to pass a clean CR or a budget and get this government back open are the same individuals that are using rhetoric like kidnapping. Imagine that. If you were pulled over for a DUI and were being arrested, would you label the person that was being arrested as having been kidnapped? And so this rhetoric that's coming from many elected officials, it actually puts our agents in more danger. Mm-hmm. A lot of the conflict that you're seeing on the inner cities is coming from people who are listening to elected officials that are just flat out not being honest and saying things that are creating rhetoric that put our agents in danger, such as kidnapping. They're disappearing people. Everyone that's arrested is processed, appropriately documented, and then deported to the appropriate country. And again, we just got to stop with this rhetoric that's increasing the violence. The violence against Border Patrol agents, ICE officers, and immigration officials is up over 1,000%. And most of that violence is coming from U.S. citizens who are targeting Border Patrol and ICE agents based on the rhetoric that they're hearing from their elected officials.
Once in a while, we have the Trump administration people watching the show or hearing about some of the things we talk about here. I know for a fact that happens occasionally. Don't know if he watches it regularly, but I'm out there and have said, listen, these fees you're collecting from tariffs, this is a great way. Pay the Border Patrol, pay our military. Even if you want to be fair, pay some SNAP benefits, increase some of the EBT cards, but use that money to make sure that our Border Patrol and our military are well paid, well fed, and well taken care of. Chief, we have a reporter. His name is Oscar Ramirez. He works for Real America's Voice. He's down in Mexico, and he's literally been targeted by the Mexican cartels, and we're very concerned about him. How can we, lend him a hand? Can you guys help? Who can we talk to make sure that he's had cartel members show up at his family's neighborhood where his wife and kids are looking for him? I mean, it gets scary. What would you suggest we do?
Absolutely. I'd suggest that you reach out to the same people who set up this interview. They will get that information to me, and we will assure that we're going to protect any American that's being targeted by the cartel or anyone else. And we will get the information to the appropriate agency and ensure that they investigate and make sure that Americans are being protected, especially the reporters that are out there upholding their rights and reporting on what's actually going on. We do the same thing with our Border Patrol agents. We have agents being doxxed left and right. Look, I'll tell you see a lot of people out there saying, why are agents wearing a mask? Look, I'm in Puerto Rico right now, working with DOD and DOW in regards to the Venezuelan drug boats that are coming into this country, is also assessing everything else that's going on here on the border with Puerto Rico. And I don't want to be out there wearing a mask in 110-degree temperature, but these agents have to protect their identities in order to protect their families. We've had agents doxxed. We've had their families threatened and harassed. And once again, all because of the rhetoric coming from those who simply don't like that we're enforcing the law. And I would encourage anyone that doesn't like the law, well, open up the government, have a conversation, and change the laws you don't like. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to intimidate Border Patrol. We will not be intimidated. We are some of the most highly trained agents in the United States government. We will not be intimidated and not doing our job. We're going to be unapologetic in enforcing our laws. And we're going to go out there every day and we're going to enforce those laws and ensure that we're protecting America and those that belong here in this country.
Amen to that. Chief Michael Banks, U.S. Border Patrol Chief, thank you for your service. Thank you for keeping us safe, my friend. And we hope you guys get taken care of. You guys get paid. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Eric.
All righty, folks. Old Glory Bank. Great folks over there. Old Glory Bank, a great friend of the show because they believe what we believe, God, country, community. With America's premier online banking platform, they protect customers and small businesses in all 50 states. Old Glory Bank has everything you need to bank online, including free accounts, free overdraft protection, early direct deposit, VA loans, and business loans. That's why Old Glory Bank quickly grew from a $10 million to a $225 million in deposit company. Think about that. Your money is your business. You can trust Old Glory Bank. Open an account in minutes. I did it in like 5 minutes. It took no time at all. I opened my own account there. OldGloryBank.com, OldGloryBank.com/Rav, and join the right side of banking. By the way, they bank in crypto too. Think about that. Alrighty, folks, this is what I'm going to do. I want to thank you for this. Take a look at this, a couple of pictures. We have Bo Dietl coming up tomorrow on the show. Brand new, which is going to drop tomorrow morning. The show's going crazy right now. Top 1/10% of all new YouTube shows. Numbers are blowing records, doors off records. We're loving it. Bo is a former cop, New York City detective. He had 1,500 arrests when some cops maybe leave their business in 200-300 arrests. He had 1,500. He gets involved with bringing down the mob. All of a sudden, Scorsese says, hey, you know what, Bo, I want you for Goodfellas. Bo stars in Goodfellas. Bo goes to Wolf of Wall Street. He plays the FBI detective cop after the Wolf of Wall Street. And that, my point is, 30 minutes of unadulterated Bo Dietl. You will laugh, you will cry. Great 30 minutes. Hit that QR code right there with your phone. We need you to subscribe. We love you to subscribe to this because it helps us out quite a bit. You can use your camera on your phone right there to subscribe that QR code, or go to youtube.com/@EricBollingTheEdge. youtube.com, just search @EricBollingTheEdge. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your viewership. And I especially thank you for your subscription. If you do that right now, I will love you forever. Appreciate you, and I will see you in 2.5 minutes.